We back. It's Wednesday, question and answer day, so be sure to follow along and keep track of your questions. We're gonna deal with this energy today. We're gonna keep it esoteric, we're gonna keep it spiritual, we're gonna talk to the individual. I'm the Hood Mystic, representing www.hoodmystic.com. Yeah, and so such a beautiful day. It's a polar vortex. They say it's one of the coldest days ever in the history of life. And so, I feel nice and warm on the inside, nice and warm, and the vibrations that I share with my family, the personal family and the extended family. Today is my mother's birthday, so let's send a special shout out to her, Mama Mystic. Yeah, that Aquarius energy. And for a second, I just want to something just came across my mind, like, you speak about your mothers and things of that nature, and how grateful I personally am for my mother. Because I wouldn't be here today without her influence. And she's actually an Aquarius, but she's a sidereal Capricorn, and she taught me the value of being a better person, being one way and then working towards improvement in all areas of life. And that is the foundation to me. I'm always trying to get better, and my mother taught me that. And I think that's one of my strongest qualities. And so special shout out to her. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her. So more gratitude that my words could even express to her, or even encapsulate in anything that I could feel, the gratitude towards my mother. So just instead of happy birthday, I just tend to say thank you. So today we're gonna be talking about the sun conjunct Mercury, sextile in the moon. We're also gonna be talking about Saturn, sextile Neptune. And the energy that we're going to be discussing is sextiles. And sextiles, I want us to understand, is the energy of effort. effort, like trying, not trying, but actually applying a modality to get from one place to the next place. And to me, if we're able to apply effort into esoterics, into spiritual development, nothing can stop you in that. There's no interruption between the connection between you and source. And so we're going to actually deal with that. We're actually going to talk about that and make sure you keep track, all my notes, followers, and things of that nature. And if you have any questions, be sure to ask, because I want to make sure that this information is coming across clear and understandable and applicable. And if there is points where you're like, well, I don't understand or I don't get it, be sure to ask, because it helps me as a presenter. Because even though I understand the information, it does not mean that the listener is going to understand the information. So it helps us all if we're able to ask questions, if we're able to grow from those criticisms, those conflicts, or whatever this conversation creates. So feel free to just let me have it. So we're going to deal with each aspect individually and come to a conclusion, and we're going to just bring it on home with the card of the day, and then we'll just have a discussion after it. So let's build. So the Sun conjunct Mercury at the 10th degree of Aquarius is, the core principle here is self-approval, self-reevaluation, and the need to deal with people as opposed to them being actual people other than shadow projections. He should be doing this, she should be doing that. Because shadow projections and what you think people should be doing is a simple level of an idea or a wish or a fantasy. And the reality of every individual person is that they have a personal soul that is directing them and guiding them towards their own moksha. And you don't know what lifetime or what lesson they're learning by their direction that they're taking. So when you deal with people, you deal with them in the present and don't deal with them based upon expectation. The actual Sabian symbol speaks to the star on the movie screen not being the actual person, and as that person's popularity fades away, what remains? So where a person might not be as famous or get the things that he's used to get, and might want to do something very reckless, like indulge in drugs or indulge in self-pity. Oh, they don't love me like they used to. Oh, I don't have as much money as I used to. See, that person let approval be the thing that sustains him, but the idea is that approval and disapproval comes in waves. So as a personal tidbit to this information, it's like the, I guess, doubt and insecurity of being a creator and not knowing how people are going to receive your information. And then, like, you know, where people may not get it because I'm really going in on the spiritual, and a lot of people don't want to deal with the spiritual. And so that causes a break in my listenership, and it's going to fall off. Maybe it'll pick back up, but the joy that I get from speaking directly to spirit, from spirit, for spirit, is my self-approval. And the disapproval of other human beings and other individuals, I have to realize that I have to accept it. So when you want to really adapt a spiritual life, You have to really approve of yourself to move in that way, and know that people's approval and disapproval is going to come in waves. They're going to really love you for taking this stance. And then they're going to really look at you like you're not really doing what we expect you to do. So how are you going to handle that? To deal with it, to really bypass it, to really understand it, is the idea of self-approval. And so this is the foundational principle for this talk. And so we're going to just bring other things into it. So we said at the beginning that the concepts that we're going to deal with is sextile and the idea of effort. And so the sun conjunct Mercury in Aquarius is sextile the moon in Sagittarius. And so the effort that we need to put in is the effort of integrity, meaning that your self-approval is not about how people respond to you. Your self-approval is found in the integrity. So integrity is not something that you show others. It is how you behave behind their back. So I know a lot of people deal in relationships like, oh, I only want to deal with people that make me feel good. I only want to deal with people who speak to, the fact that I'm a ballerina, but you're a shitty friend. But don't you see I'm the world-class ballerina? Don't you see I'm a good mother? But you're a shitty friend. But I'm a good mother, though. Or don't you see I take care of my kids? But you're a shitty friend. I take care of my kids, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, however it plays out and however you show up in your relationships is not about how people feel about you on the external. It's really about how you feel about yourself on the inside. See, because if you feel a certain way positively on the inside, you don't shadow project. You just don't do it. You don't do it. You never say this person is bad. You never say it because it's just something in you that you just got too much work to do to be throwing stones. So really approving of yourself eliminate shadow projection and really dealing with the integrity of it, the behind closed doors, building yourself up. As opposed to, the hood mystic. I love what the hood mystic doing. Everybody love what the hood mystic is doing, all of that. Oh, let me pat myself on the back. Let me do the stanky leg. Let me feel good about myself. Or, I don't like that message that you said, or, fuck you, hood mystic. Like, this is kind of the energy that I've been getting in real life lately, like blatant, like fuck you, okay, so now I gotta process this. You understand what I'm saying? Like I have to really process that, because if I was letting the positive energy sustain me, then by nature the negative is going to fuck me up. So therefore I have to understand that I gotta do this shit whether y'all like me or not. I gotta do this shit through the I love you. I gotta do this shit through the I can't stand you, because it ain't about how people feel about me. It's only about the message and dealing with the people who resonate with the message and nothing more. So the moon, to wrap this particular aspect up, the moon would rather be ethical and honest than popular. Okay? I'd rather tell you the truth. I'd rather give you my honest, unpopular opinion than be your friend or be the person that you like. Because that's gonna actually save me. Me catering to your needs and your personality is going to ruin my life. So, the next aspect, rewind. We live, baby. So the next aspect that we're gonna discuss is Saturn sextile Neptune. Both of these planets are at 14 degrees, Capricorn and Pisces respectively. Saturn being Capricorn, Neptune being Pisces. We really want to focus on Saturn at the 14th degree mark and Neptune at the 14th degree mark, because Neptune is making a transit. She's moving a little bit more progressively into the 15th degree mark, and we're going to get a little variation on that energy, which is good. But the sextile, in a certain aspect, if you just want to look at it in its true form, sex, right? It to me presents a gateway that, you know, sex requires effort. However you look at it, like somebody is putting some effort in, or sex isn't happy. You can't passively have sex. It's like you have to have effort into it. But once you put the effort into it and the vibes is right, then it's good. I don't even know why. Even maybe my mind is somewhere crazy right now. I love my wife too. Like it's the like we've been stuck in the house, so you just have to be like very very creative, and we have children too, so you got to get very creative even more. You know, but anyways, Saturn Saturn at the 14th degree. I don't that had nothing to do with nothing, bro. Like my mind is just on like, yo.
Weather needs to change or we get a move.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Saturn in the 14th degree mark of Capricorn. It speaks to perspective. 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 Like, perspective is very key. Because perspective is a form of magic in a sense of, because how you view yourself, how you view your works, and how you view your creations and things of that nature is all a matter of perspective. Even in Christian mythology, they speak of if two people can look at a mountain and tell that mountain to leave, that mountain shall leave. So you understand that the idea of coming together and having a magical thought, and a magical thought doesn't have to be walakazam, walakazoo. It could be like, hey, let's start a business, or hey, let's sustain ourselves by using our talents together and see what comes of it. Like, let's create a song together, or let's work on an artist piece and let's try to sell it on Etsy. Like, you know, it could be a whole variety of different things that you can do when it comes to magic. And perspective is key, because if you feel like, man, I gotta work at this bullshit ass job, ain't shit gonna happen to me, man, I'm gonna just wait till I retire for real, and then like when I'm 65 I can maybe, you know, go to Florida and get a retirement home, and then I'm your friend and I'm thinking like, you know, we could create a business together. Like, we could just be traveling, like selling our products or doing whatever the case, like whatever, like just working together and like figuring out how we gonna make it through life together. And you just like, well, I'm gonna just work at this bullshit ass job. And it's just like our perspectives are very different. And so let me digress. Perspective, in a historical perspective, you don't want to be jaded by his story. His story of you is the principal idea of consciousness, the seed, the foundation of your existence, which created copies of itself throughout time. And that perspective, the fact that you can create yourself, the fact that you can, okay, I got a Akashic reading and I can have dreams about myself in a past lifetime. So what does that say about you in this present moment? And how important is that to you, that you have a past lives? That means that your past lives begat past lives begat past lives to an original point. And if you could tap into this original perspective in the moment, then you are tapping into a level of magic. And that is like, you can't get around that. If you deal with it on an actual his story level, then you deal with preconceived notions of race, gender, murder, colonialism, etc., which may be valid or invalid, but the primary historical perspective that we want to really work with is the uh, psychic in Gnosticism, they call it the spark. In Hindu Tantra, they call it the Bindu seed. But all of these speak to a primordial essence that we all have, that we could all tap into if we really, really wanted to. And so the energy is sextiling Neptune, and really just doubles down on the fact that I sound redundant, but I don't know. You have magic inside of you. Like, you have the creation or the tools and the foundational principles within you, just by the mere fact that you're alive and breathing today, that you can actually tap into. And the limits that you really place on your life and your human perspective, and you keep saying this human mundane over and over monotonous recording plays over in your mind, and that's really the block. So sextile Neptune, we have to really deal with the level of clarity, a level of meditation, whether it be mantras, guided meditations, just getting yourself out of yourself and really getting closer to the source, closer to the divine, and not for it to be like some catchy, I'm deep on Facebook shit, but to really tap into something that is truly worthwhile. Like, I, I talk about this so much, but it's just like something inside of me that says that people really don't get it yet, so keep talking about it. So we're gonna keep talking about it. The Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is associated with the second decan of Capricorn, which Saturn sits at, and the card of that particular decan is the Three of Pentacles. And so I highlighted a point from Teach Me Tarot. This card speaks to being rewarded at long last for all of the effort that you have been putting in for so many years, in parentheses, lifetimes. Others are prepared to back you now and offer support where in the past you struggled alone with your ideas and plans for the future. So another idea that we want to work with is the idea that the future is now. And so when it comes to implementing or living out those dreams that you had, you do it now. You don't figure it to be something in the future, because it was already the future 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago. Like, the future is now. So if you can hold that idea and you can really implement everything that you are in totality, and if you're just thinking of yourself in a human aspect, you're not really thinking of yourself in full totality. You're thinking of yourself in a limited, subjugated view. So even if you are successful, even if you have money, even if you're living your best life, it's still limited and subjugated. So it's very important for you to tap into the totality of what you are in this moment, because in this moment, the possibilities are endless. And I guess the key to it is you bringing forth that light, and you representing that light, and you showing that light. So the title of this video is The Foundation of Magic. The foundation of magic is deeply within inside of you. Magic in etymology is the art of influencing and predicting events and producing marvels using hidden natural forces. So the key that I want to focus on is hidden natural. Natural being your nature, hidden meaning that you might not know it. And to say that you know everything there is to know about yourself is the limit. To open yourself up to the possibilities of more then you know about yourself. It actually allows you to tap into the hidden natural forces and produce magic. If you're completely content and satisfied with your life and things of that nature, or you're trying to get something because you know what you're gonna get is gonna be the thing that's gonna put your life in order, this relationship, this job, this money, etc., then you limit yourself to tapping into your magic because you don't see the hidden side of it. Because the hidden is always found in the moment. The foundation is the basis of, or the establishment of something. Like the foundation. Very important. And if you could really establish this point, if you could really understand like you can create any and everything if you simply give yourself the permission to create the first level. So I guess it would be a level of stripping down, a level of death and rebirth, a level of coming to terms with the old and bringing forth the new. The three of this, I'm just reading out this Crowley Tarot book. It speaks to securing and anchoring what has already been achieved. What has been achieved in your life is one level. What has been achieved in your whole entire being is a whole entire level. And this is clear. This is what I'm speaking to, and this is what I'm talking about tapping into. So, any questions? Always aim to be at a 0 point, to be open enough to pick up on the subtleties. Exactly. If you all the way on 10 in your feelings about what you think life should be, you put yourself at a particular limit. Oh, I don't got, oh, I need, okay, then you stuck. Like, I'm still trying to figure it out. I think the foundation for me is I think I just created a word, y'all. Metaphor mindfulness. I don't. I did that word sucks. Meditational mindfulness, which is found in every moment. And what I tend to do is study and let my mind guide me to places that I don't know shit about. Like if I don't know shit, I'm excited because it gives me an opportunity to learn something that if I put it all together, I'll realize that I'm being directed and guided by a hidden force. And this is something that I've displayed over time in the moment where I don't necessarily know if people could look back on this whole catalog and kind of like conceptualize it because it's very vast for like information and study. But in the moment, it's like we could still have these conversations and we could express it. Exactly. Meta mindfulness. I like that. Meta mindfulness, like, is very important. Peace. What are some ways you can use sigils, meditation to tap into your hidden realms? I think that Prince Nakeem, what you said is what you said. I think our purpose and our goals are for external things, but if we tend to use sigils and meditation, etc., to really go within and find ourselves and have ourselves lead us, we really tap into a level of magic and a level of truth that really other people they just can't, they won't be able to comprehend because it's like I'm being directed by something, but my direction isn't like money. My direction isn't popularity. My direction isn't what people think it is. And even if it attracts the things that people think that I'm going for, that's just on them. You understand? Like, it's not even something that even exists to me. Like, I'm the same regular person. I have the same regular problems, and people's projections on me, is just personally on them. So it's very important to understand when you're doing meditation, sigils, magic, things of that nature, that you really use it for a level of finding yourself, finding your truth. I'm reading Love is a Fire by Llewellyn Von Lee. This is my book that I've been reading. Yeah, and that's all you need, Anessa. Like once you get the messages, you gotta act upon those messages. Like, if you don't, like, one thing to get the messages, like, I hear it a lot of times, like, where people is like, I got a message to go to the graveyard, but I was afraid. That's on you. Like, like, that's really on you. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had a message to go, call such and such, but I was afraid to do it. Okay, that's on you. Like, it's very important that you start to do the things that your spirit tells you to do, and your spirit wouldn't give it to you to put you in a negative space. But then, okay, so you got to be clear on, psychosis versus being spirit led or intuition. So if you're doing the meditation and you're doing the clear work, and then you're being led by messages, then that's intuition. If you've been at work all day, if you've been in a toxic relationship, and you get into the car and then you just hear something just saying, just drive fast and just crash the car, that is not intuition. Okay, like, it starts at the meditative level. It starts at finding yourself. Like, a lot of people's like, oh, I get visions. No, you crazy as fuck, because you ain't even trying to get to the level of peace. You're not trying to even get peaceful. So no, you just dealing with a level of psychosis, schizophrenia, because you're not even trying to be zen at all. Them is not messages. Them is not intuitions. If you've been meditating, sun gazing like Anessa, and then you get a message from your meditational practice, that's intuition. That's a sign. That's spirit leading you to a place. Hey Z, what's up with that? I'm about to. Oh, I wish my wife was down here. We about to set that shit off. It gotta be the right graveyard though. I don't want certain people watching me. Uh, Yo. So, any questions related to this talk or unrelated to this talk? Man. Yeah, so in that sense, it's to the point where spirit been talking to people for so long, and people have been ignoring spirit for so long. Like, my wife, she got, never mind. I'll let her speak for herself. Cause, yeah, but people's ancestors have come to me or come to my wife like, can you talk to my granddaughter, because she is tripping and she do not listen to me. I damn near came to her Did the stanky leg say it's your grandfather from the above, and I'm trying to give you a message, and she still ignore me. So could you please talk to her? And so, people ignore spirit all the time because they so fixated with the mundane. They're so fixated with the material life, and they find value in it, and they don't find balance or sustaining or understanding it. It's just within itself they find value in it. But you have to really see that the ancestors really do want to work with you. They really do want to guide you, but you have to open yourself up to that. Z, I put out a video called The Final Frontier, and I really feel like the evolution and the overall next level of this species, and like in totality, if we 8.8 billion of us or whatever rough estimates we dealing with, started to incorporate consciousness at a kindergarten through 12 level and start to teach and understand consciousness, and not ignore consciousness. That is from our evolution, and then from consciousness and from the development of self, we take all of the energy off of who got the best car, who got the best clothes, and we really focus on that which is unobstructable, that which is impenetrable, and nothing can stop us from that point. So I think, and I feel like the majority in the masses is the the masses are avoiding the whole fact of consciousness, the whole fact of the hidden realm. So I think that's our next step of evolution, personally. And what that'll look like, I don't know, because we all have a unique ability to create life at a deep and cosmic level, and we just need to start to act and put effort into it. So out of body experiences and things of that nature, they should be happening for you, or you should be really allowing those things to happen. Like I was trying to get out of my body 10 years ago. Like I think like that's mandatory. Like if you're not trying to get outside of your body and deal with the consciousness outside of your body, you're not really dealing with anything. You're dealing with the level of aesthetics. You're dealing with the level of trying to project this light that you don't have. So in order to find light, you have to actually go out and seek light. And to, if you can't exit outside of your body, then you need to start to research and study that, and understand that this world is holographic. This world is set upon moving particles. Everything that you see around you moves, and you have to just be in alignment with it. And so I think what you're talking about, Z, in terms of out of body experiences is foundational to tantric art and raising up your kundalini and chakra work and things of that nature. But we're talking about sextiles, we're talking about effort. Who's putting in the effort, and the fact that a person can travel outside of the body does nothing for you individually. You have to begin to work and practice those modalities, and um, develop a psychic nature about yourself. Um, Honcho, I would, if that's where you're trying to grow to, and having a whole connection of people who do business with you that follow the stars, then if that's your foundation and this is what you're trying to build upon, Yeah, you exactly on point. Yeah, so and that's a I've been having the same recurring dream about like a city for like I can't even explain for how long. Like I don't even know how long. It's been months. So I don't know about these recurring dreams and what they speak to, but what I could say honestly is to keep investigating, keep searching, because if you having a recurring dream, there's something in that recurring dream that needs to be investigated, that needs to be brought to life. Like, I've been having the same dream in the same place for I don't even know how long, and so it's like now it's to the point where I have to find this place. Like I have to find this place, and that speaks to Neptune a little bit as well. It's very possible to have sex with cosmic entities, ghosts, and spirits, etc. Um, a lot of a lot of sexual attraction is not for humans; it's for entities and things of that nature. So, yeah, it's a lot of that going on where a lot of succubus and a lot of incubus are happening. A lot of people are in full blown relationship with entities and they will say, I'm single. I don't need a man. I don't need a woman. Women are single. There's the MGTOW, men go their own way, and all of these people have developed relationships with entities and ghosts and spirits, and so much so they fully invested into this relationship that they can deal with people on a simply I'm trying to think of the word where people are just vessels of the spirit that they've been communicating with. So don't fall into that trap if a person just wants to have sex with you, man or woman, because they're not even wanting to have sex with you. They're wanting to have sex with their masturbation demon or their masturbation entity. So, people don't give a fuck about you in the forms of relationship. They don't give a fuck about your future. They care about what you can do for them in the pleasure sector. So be very mindful if you have a spirit and you have a soul and you're not trying to relate to people in commitment for like if you're not trying to commit to a person but you want to be cool with them, like, oh, what's our future like, or how can we I'm not really down for that. Oh shit, like, or people really be having I know this is kind of deep and people would disagree, but or you are in a relationship with a demon and you're comfortable in that relationship, so you feel as though you don't need an actual relationship with another human being. And you have many ways to contact that demon, whether it's through pornography, whether it's through masturbation, whether it's through, prostitution, and just really using people as sexual objects so that demon can use that also. That happens. Wow. Um, books on ancestral connection. Hold on. Oh yeah, I got books everywhere. Books everywhere. Um, when it comes to ancestral connection, the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot book, that's probably one of the best books. where I'm connected to my ancestors on a physical level, on a spiritual level, or on an emotional level, on an intellectual level, on a magical level, on a ritual level, on a tarot level, on an astrological level. It's totally encapsulated and surmised through the artwork and through the authorship in this book. It's just not a tarot set. It's actually a book, and this book is 100% fire. So, Ancestral Connections. I'm sure there's other books. Um, for the women, I think the women definitely gotta have this in their collection. If you a woman and you don't have this in your collection, I don't even know what to tell you if you don't have that in your collection, bro. So, mm, yeah. So, any more questions? Anything associated with the conversation or unassociated with the conversation? No problem. The Sacred Woman is a compilation of mythology, of stories, of literature, of ancient Egyptian diagrams, spells. I don't know. It's just like yoga poses, the foods, how they affect your emotions, like it's a like I don't know, mucus, like health, how to cook, recipes. It's a book about understanding the fact that you are or possess sacred feminine energy. So even if you're a man, you could read this book. But if you're a woman, like I don't understand how you conscious and you ain't even read this book because this book is hard too. It ain't about like, oh look at me, I'm a sacred woman, like oh it's pop. Like no, you gotta have a notebook and you gotta really and people ain't about that life. Like you know what I'm saying to really get with this. But Ifa Ashe,
it's a read through.
yeah, it's not a read through. It's a reference. It's a reference. Queen Afua, Sacred Woman. You gotta have this book in your household. Like like come on, brothers, sisters. Like come on, bro. Like you, like for the conscious community, this is like the low key Bible. Like low key, this is the low key Bible for the conscious community. Queen Afua. Well, okay, I like questions, man. I like questions. I have one last question. Is mankind an amnesia from traumatic natural plays from early history and was defined by early? Mankind is definitely, well, mankind, human beings, you got to really understand the verbiage that you're using when describing phenotypes and things of that nature. Because the reality is that we all may look the same, but we all internally are not. Um, constructed the same. So our foundations are, inherently different. So I would say that mankind is not in amnesia. Man is in amnesia. Man has forgotten who he was, and the Homo sapien and the Homo sapien are different. And so where the people who've created the pyramids and things of that nature, the people who have created ancient civilization throughout the planet, they've forgotten who they were. And, the adversary knows who they are, and they won't let them remember. So, it just depending on who you are and what side of the fence you are when you speak about amnesia, because one side of the population is not amnesic at all. They're in full awareness of everything and know exactly who's who. And as long as things stay the way that they are, they're perfectly comfortable. But if the original was to waken up to its foundation and really take control on a internal level, um, in large quantities, then we have our own communities, we have our own sanctuary, and we're not dependent on, a society or a system that wants to suppress us or wants us to be amnesic. But peace to everybody. Thanks for joining me today. We'll continue this tomorrow. Continue the questions and answers, and we'll do more research. And be sure to join me on Slack. Be sure to copy and paste these notes and get your own perspective on your own energy, and really hone in to who you are, and really plant those seeds as we approach this new moon, and really see what you want to accomplish in your life, and have those conversations with your friends. Like me and my way, like, what do you want? Like, what do you want to do? Where you want to go? Okay, this is the year that we do this. And if we both agree into it, like, it's gonna happen. And we've done this so many different times where we both agreed, okay, we're gonna move. All right, then something happens, we're moving, we need a car. Something happens, we're getting a car. Like, something happens when we all can agree to something. So we're taking a level of our businesses and our successes and our family, we're agreeing to, take those things to the next level. So, really get with people and see what y'all gonna do in the future. And don't be telling yourself, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and you just like telling yourself that. Like, that's one thing, but who can come into agreement with you and work into this thing together? So with that being said, man, peace to everybody, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. But be sure to hit me up, hoodmystic@gmail.com, the website www.hoodmystic.com, and all points between. Peace.